Hey all, and welcome to part 6 of my Phanto's Purge playthrough. These are actually going to be all my own levels. I made a world for this. It's called the Nightmare Realm and has 5 levels in it. So this is the first one, Phanto's Purge, The Awakening. Mario enters the mysterious ruins but awakens an ancient evil. So the idea behind this level, or should I say behind the world, Mario is meant to be trapped in a nightmare. And this first level is meant to represent Phanto being awakened for the first time. So here we go, let's play the stage. Hopefully I won't have too many problems beating this considering it's my own stage. But we will see. So here we go. It's a ghost house themed level, coins at the start. Let's get the SMB2 mushroom and jump up. You might think here, if you hit those P switches you're going to die, but no. This is just a fake trap, so to speak, or an anti-troll, whatever you want to call it. It won't kill you, so don't worry too much about that. Again, you might think these thwomps are going to move inwards, but they don't do anything. Again, it's just a bit of fake trolling in the level. So you have a choice of 3 doors. There's only one door you can go into. It's the middle one. The other 2 doors just lead to themselves, and then... ooh, this weird room here where the thwomps look like they're going to fall down, but they don't. Alright, so this is the first checkpoint. If you go in the door over here, you encounter this weird room. You can't actually get to that room. It's meant to sort of represent a room later on in the level that looks impossible, but it's a totally fake room, not in the level, so don't worry about it. So this is Phanto's chamber, so to speak. This is where we will awaken Phanto for the first time, or according to the story in Mario's Nightmare. So there are a few jump scares in this cave. There's one of them, for example. So just keep progressing forwards. It's like going into a dark cave. You don't really know what's there. You just keep going forwards anyway, hoping for the best. There's some random thwomps coming down and destroying dry bones. So here the arrow says you meant to go across. You can jump across like so, however, you won't get that far as there's some hidden blocks that knock you down. You can't actually go the way the arrows are telling you to go. So another jump scare in this room from those skewers. It lights up a bit more, but what are we about to encounter in the door? Some on-off switches with keys. That awakens the Mecha Koopas, and now you need to run, and run fast. So here we go with the chase sequence. Phanto comes after you, and you have to get to the other side as quickly as possible. So just keep going forwards, avoid everything that comes at you. You can take damage a few times. Phanto is especially difficult to avoid, as you've seen from that. However, you only have to make it to here, and then you've done it! So there we go. That's the first level I made. Quite an easy level, but definitely an atmospheric level, so to speak. Quite a few horror-themed parts to the level. So there we go. Let's move on to the next level. Here's the second level, Phanto's Purge the Darkness. Phanto's awakening has plunged the land into darkness. Can you survive? So a continuation from the previous level. You have awakened Phanto. He has turned the land dark. All the Mecha Koopas are awake now and attacking. You have to try and survive. So here we go. Here's the darkness. So at the start of the level, as always, get the SMB2 mushroom. Jump across carefully and then dig through the clouds like so. This section, avoid those lasers. and then jump up. So for this part, the red Mecha Koopas come out and fire bullets at you. The method is to jump up onto the vines like so. You can also super jump and make it up onto the vines. Make sure you do not take a hit though. If you do take a hit, you can actually get back because you've hit that on-off switch here. You need an SMB2 mushroom for the next section though, so I recommend just not taking a hit. It makes it easier though if you hit the on-off switch, as then you don't have to redo this section with the red Mecha Koopas firing at you. So let's actually progress now. The alternative method, like so. Then dig through the clouds when you reach here. And then move on to the next section of the level, which is this giant staircase. Basically just dodge the Mecha Koopas. Be aware the pipes fire out at a different speed, so the red ones, for example, fire at the Mecha Koopas very fast, the blue ones pretty slow. The Mecha Koopas also match with the colour. Then when you get to here, jump up like so and reach the first checkpoint. So for this part, I recommend going really quickly. The Russian Shroom will fire out the Mecha Koopas. You also get hit by a spring like that if you're not careful. You need an SMB2 mushroom to progress, so if you've lost it here, you're going to have to go back and get it. That's not that easy in all fairness, as you can see from this. It can be done though. That SMB2 mushroom just jumped off the level, which was really good. It's also a lot easier on the second attempt as the Mecha Koopas are not fired out. So there we go. Now you have to hit the on-off switches so they're like that. That's just to prevent cheese later on. And here we go with the boss, or so to speak. Now the way to cheese this is to just hold down like so. The lasers will never hit you if you duck. However, it's not exactly fun. I'm going to try and do this properly. It's all about the timing basically. If you're doing it legit anyway, otherwise just duck throughout this section and you should beat it really easily. Now when you get to here, the laser will go through, hit the P switch and open up the next area, then do that very quickly to drop down the stack of Mecha Koopas. There we go. Now into the door, you have some time sections here, you have to be really quick with these. Hit those on-off switches as fast as possible. Again with this section here, jump up quickly, hit those on-off switches, drop those towers of Mecha Koopas. Same with here, get up the staircase. Oh, I missed it, there we go, drop them down, and go in the pipe. And that's it, you've beaten it. So it wasn't actually that difficult. Probably the hardest parts of the level are near the start of the level, but overall, I think that's a reasonable difficulty level. And there we go, that's the end of the darkness. Let's move on to the next stage. So here we go with the next stage in this world, Phanto's Purge, game over. After escaping Phanto, Mario falls into a trap by the Mecha Koopa King. So the story is, now you've escaped from the darkness, you've now entered what looks like a relatively normal world. Everything is back to normal, however it's all just a trap. And you're about to be brutally killed, basically. Right. Let's just get on with the level and show you what I mean. So here is the level, as always, SMB2 mushroom at the start. Lots of coins, lots of clouds, lots of things to make this look like a nice, fun, easy bonus level. Do not be fooled. So all you have to do here is get the 5 pink coins. They're dotted around the level in tricky to get to places occasionally, but mostly pretty easy. These are probably the hardest two to get. There we go, nice. And then go in here, hit the on-off switches like I just did. And then we have a checkpoint. There's a bunch of hidden blocks in this room. You get some 1-up mushrooms and SMB2 mushrooms. Collect those if you want. Some more over this side. There we go. Then go in the door here. So in this room you have a nice boss battle. Very nice boss battle. You can't go back in the door. So take note, that's now blocked. So what you've got to do is try and survive, basically. Try and survive, yeah. That's going to be easier said than done. Guess what? The floor is made out of hard blocks, so all the bullets destroy it. Oh dear, it's not looking good for Mario, is it? It's not looking good at all for Mario. Oh dear, Mario is officially dead. So since Mario is now dead, let's go in the pipes here. So this is basically the afterlife, so to speak, a spooky graveyard themed area. So you have to get through this. Be careful though. This is quite tricky actually. Lots of enemies. There's a cursed key here as well, so I'm going to have to go through nice and quickly and carefully. Jump across on the conveyors. I've taken a hit, but it's okay. I've taken another hit, but it's still okay as I made it to the door. So this is actually a reference to Paper Mario the Origami King. If you've not played the game, then you won't have a clue why I randomly kill both the bombs in this room. Even if you have played the game, you might not have a clue why that room exists. But anyway, let's move on. So bounce along on the dry bones. Ideally don't take damage like I just did. Go quick or get the coins if you're feeling brave. So this is the final part. Dodge through the ghosts and make it to one of the doors. Doesn't matter which door you make it to, they all lead to the same area. And you've escaped from the afterlife. Mario is now alive again and ready to progress with the rest of the world. So yeah, quite a weird level. For those wondering how I got it uploaded, there is a hidden item somewhere in the level. I'm not telling you where it is though. If you want to try and find that, go for it. If not, then don't. And I'm going to be moving on to the next level now. Here we go with the next level, Phanto's Purge, the Sky Fortress. You need 5 coins to enter, but beware as the fortress is heavily defended. Well, since the Mecha Koopa King just killed Mario, Mario is now out for revenge. Mario has found this fortress which he thinks may have the Mecha Koopa King in, so he enters to try and defeat both Phanto and the King. So here we go, let's play the level. Let's see how I get on with this. This is actually the longest level from my world. Most technical as well. Quite a few tricky puzzles at the start of the level which you're just about to see. So the idea here is to go in each of the pipes and complete the challenge in the room. This first one, you just have to get the pink coins and ride on the bullets. Nothing too difficult there. That's just the first challenge, though. The second challenge is the red pipe over here. For this room, this has actually been catching out quite a few players. So the first thing you want to do is just hit one of the power blocks to get rid of the coins. And then when the power block bounces, jump up and get the pink coin, which is over the other side and not this side, so that's not that helpful. There we go. So now you have to escape from the room, and this is the part that's been causing problems for the player. You can't quite super jump high enough. And if you grab one of the power blocks, it's very difficult to make it land in position. There's actually a really easy way of doing this. And I have marked it out. Just crouch here. That's all you've got to do. Literally all you've got to do. And the power block bounces in position. And then you can just super jump up like that. So it's actually really easy, but looks deceptively difficult. So let's move on to the blue pipe. This is pretty easy. Get the coins and then just crouch here. Super jump up like so. Springs drop down and then you can just super jump up again and get the pink coin. So escaping from this room is a little bit harder. Just do a jump like that. As it's low gravity, it should not be too difficult. Onto the orange pipe. Now this is a challenge, so to speak. Just get the buzzy beetle in the gap. So don't throw it where the springs are. Instead, throw it where the power block is. There we go. Then once you've done that, you can just get the pink coin like so and exit the room. So now we're going to move on to the final room, which is another green pipe. So for this room, this one looks a lot harder than it is. The way to do this is quite simple. Just throw the spring like that. Once you've got the power block, just throw it. And this happens. So you already have the key from this room. You might be wondering though, what happens if you go back in that pipe and try the room again? Well, you might think you're completely soft locked, but you're not quite. Because what happens when you throw the power block this time? Well, the power block doesn't even appear from that side. You can get one from this side though still. However, it's not going to do anything. So the way to escape now is to stack up the springs. This is quite hard, so it might take me a bit of time. However, you're not quite soft locked in this room anymore. Even though you might think you are. So something like that, make it land there, and then the other one needs to go on top. Now this is hard. You don't want to be doing this, but it is a method for escaping the room if you kind of got stuck basically. So yeah, very, very difficult. Something, yeah. This is going to take me a few attempts. You might, hold on, I'll just try this. Now you do need to stack up the springs. Something like that. It's not easy to do that though. You need to hit the mushroom that's flying about in the room, but you're not quite soft locked if you go back in that pipe. But please don't go back in the pipe once you already have the coin. It's not recommended. So here we have Little Red firing a bullet at you to get you to the next section. Dig through the clouds like so, and be ready for the next section as you have to be quite fast. It's a moving platform section. Lots and lots of lasers will fire at you. Just keep going, keep progressing, and hope for the best. Try not to die. It's not actually as difficult as it looks, if I'm being honest. I made it look really difficult, but most of the lasers just miss you completely. The hardest part is probably the staircase there. Once you've done that, the platform goes to there and you can go in the pipe. So another checkpoint and another Little Red. So the bullet comes over and fires at you as before. That wasn't a very good bullet, was it? Let's fire the next one. There we go, perfect. You can ride up like so. And enter the door. Now Phanto will make his first appearance in a minute. You just have to get through this section of the level. Be careful. Lots of Mecha Koopas. So there's the key. Let's grab the key, and there's a door over here. You've got to get to the door first with Phanto chasing you. Phanto is so hard to avoid. It's sometimes best just to damage boost through. Now before you take on the boss, I recommend getting an SMB2 mushroom, which is obtained like that. There we go. There's a few ways you can do this boss. The recommended method is to take out a couple of the red Mecha Koopas like so, and then hit the on-off switch. Then all you have to do is go in the vines like so. The red Mecha Koopas have a habit of killing themselves though, unfortunately, so be careful. Also, if you've done something like this, you basically messed up and should go back. You can also just damage boost as well once you have the pipe open. There's tons of options for this boss. It's up to you how you want to beat it. Decide that for yourself. I'm going to do it by this method. And then, that's it. You've beaten the stage. Get the top of the flagpole if you want. If you don't quite get it, then there's some hidden blocks to stop you from getting to the top. It sort of soft locks you out of the 1-up mushroom, or 1-up, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, that's the Sky Fortress completed. Now we're going to move on to the final level, which is called the Ordeal. And here we go with the final level in this part of the playthrough, Phanto's Purge, the Ordeal. Time to destroy the curse of Phanto and escape from this nightmare. So you don't actually destroy Phanto, you don't actually escape either. Or do you? Let's play the stage and find out. So here it is, Phanto's Purge, the Ordeal. Is it much of an ordeal? Well, you're going to find out. The first part's actually quite hard. You need to get through a tricky castle section. Not super hard, but definitely tricky in places. I don't recommend rushing this. Go at a good pace and just be careful. So some claws here, lots of fireballs, burners, thwomps and cannons. Right, well that's the first part of the level done. Now you have this part here. So what you've got to do is get 4 keys like so. Once you obtain the 4 keys, there's 4 hidden blocks above. Once you've hit all 4 of the hidden blocks, the Koopa Trooper will go over to the other side and hit the P-switches. Then you can go in the pipe here, so let's begin. Here's the first room. So go across on the claws. Just be careful. Now you might be wondering what's the point of those blue dotted line blocks. Well, if I go back in here, I will show you. If you die in any of the rooms, you end up back here and you will be able to hit those on-off switches. And that will turn on all the blue blocks, making the rooms very easy. Originally, this level was just way too difficult, so this sort of cheese measure is in place if you need it and can't do the level or you're finding it too hard. I don't want to use this though. I did not use this when I was uploading the stage, and I'm going to try and not use it now, even though you probably will take damage in these rooms if you try and do it legit, as they're very hard to get through. I made it through though, just about. Let's get in that pipe really quickly. Get rid of that key as fast as possible. There we go, that's 1 done. Okay. So can I do the other 3? Well, that's a big question. If you die in any of the rooms though, you have to do the whole thing again. Which is why I put that cheese measure in place for those who need it, as this level is quite hard. I'm just going to go and get another SMB2 mushroom. That was quite frankly embarrassing. Let's try that again. I've not played this level for a long time, and I'm kind of sucking at the level. If you can make it to the key without taking damage, you should just be able to damage boost back though, so it's not that hard. Let's try and get out of here as quickly as possible. There we go. That's the second key obtained. The key to unlocking and destroying Phanto. So yeah, if you do this legit, this is quite a tense level. If you do it by the easy method though, it is quite boring, so I recommend trying to do it legit if you're feeling brave. Right, quickly across the thwomps. I recommend waiting for the thwomps to go back up before getting the key. Phanto will chase you again. Right. Oh, what? How did I manage to jump straight into him at that point? But it's okay. So the biggest challenge from this level is trying to do the whole level without taking any hits at all. If anyone's able to do that, please let me know, as I have never managed to do that, as these rooms are hard. Well, relatively hard anyway, not super hard. Here we go, anyway. Ghosts and Fishbones, a timing section. Now for this part, a few options. One easier method is to take out one of the dry bones. I didn't manage it. You can pick it up and throw it. Gonna have to be careful as I don't have the SMB2 mushroom at this point, so careful. More like run like crazy and hope for the best. Yeah, that's more like it. Brilliant, okay. Well, I've made it. So here we go. The Koopa Trooper goes all the way across and now hits the P-switches. Right, let's go. Yeah, definitely recommend getting an SMB2 mushroom, as we're about to encounter the end boss. Well, the end boss of this world, and here it is. So it's the Mecha Koopa King. Even though you can't actually defeat him. Well, not until the end of the game anyway. So actually, this room is quite hard. There's a good chance you will die here. And there's no cheese method if you do die anymore. It's also a lot easier while small. You can take out the blue Mecha Koopas. You may have seen a couple of them were destroyed by the bullets. There we go, get the key. The Mecha Koopa King sort of runs about at the top of the screen. And there we go, we have done it. So the ending is best viewed with an SMB2 mushroom, so let's go back in there with the mushroom. And here is the ending. The springs bash all the Mecha Koopas across like so. You hit the axe and defeat them all. Knock them straight into the lava. And there we go. Definitely the hardest level out of the bunch if you try and do it legit, but with that cheese method, the level is made relatively straightforward, I think. Okay, and that's the end of this part of the playthrough. I hope you enjoyed watching me play that. They were my own levels this time around. A little bit harder to do this part of the playthrough as I already knew the levels. Hope you enjoyed watching me play them regardless, and the story that goes behind these levels. If you did enjoy this video, leaving a like and subscribing to the channel is always appreciated. Thank you to those that have already subscribed. There's a few other videos on the screen you may enjoy as well. Feel free to check those out if you want to do so. And thanks for watching.